The Vergas Show is brought to you by Spanky's Stone Hearth, casual fine dining on the shores of beautiful Rose Lake.
With 2 locations in Vergas and Perm, make the right call. Call Hanson's, the most trusted name in plumbing and heating.
Vergas State Bank, your locally owned full-service bank.
Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherry Hanson. Thanks for joining me today. I'm with Myron Gunderson. We are at St. John's Lutheran Church in Vergas, which is going to be the location of something very exciting happening. It's been a long time coming, Myron, hasn't it?
Yes, we've been working on it for some time.
Yes, we have. And Myron and I have had the fortunate task of being on the committee together, but I'm going to turn it over to him to talk to you about the mobile food pantry that is going to be making a stop in Vergas, as well as other communities. He's going to give you all the details on it. We're going to kind of start at the beginning, I think, Myron. How did the idea of a mobile food pantry ever come about, and how are we so fortunate to finally have it?
Our rural communities here are very fortunate. There's an organization out of Grand Rapids, Minnesota, called the Blandin Foundation, and they've dedicated a vast amount of funds to help educate the leaders in rural communities. And a couple of years ago, the Vergas, Frazee, Wolf Lake area was selected to send representatives for this training. And of course, you were one of them, and you know that it was very good training.
It was good training.
It was, and it involved some pretty intensive training, but out of this, we were challenged with a project to reach across more than one community. And of course, the project was basically on paper, but we went one step further. We're carrying it out.
We were overachievers at that point. I'm so glad.
And well, we tossed it around for quite a while, but our committee came up with the fact of a mobile food pantry that we could reach more than one community. As we progressed, we realized this was a pretty big task, and we needed someone to be a fiscal agent. We also needed someone to help us with acquiring food and so forth. So we reached out, and I know you had a lot of contacts with the Perm Food Shelf at the time, and had several meetings with them, and they took it on so we could be part of their organization.
You know, and that's what was just so incredible is, you know, that we were just all of a sudden figured out a way to make the right connection. I mean, you can have a lot of connections, but they had what we were looking for. And
surprisingly, it seemed like it took probably a year and a half for all this to come together, because we had a green light, then we had a red light, and it just went back and forth. But today we're really happy to announce that it is coming to fruition. And the trailer, I would have loved to have it here today, but I do have pictures of it out in front of the different stops. We don't have the new logos on the trailer yet, so that's why we did not bring it here. But the trailer is ready to go. It's a modified ice castle, and the reason we went with that is we could set it down on the ground and be ADA compliant. So even if some of the customers that use the food pantry in either wheelchair or use a walker, they can easily get into it.
They are able to, you know, mobilize themselves into it. One of the things, just to back up a little bit, Myron, is I know that when we started talking to the Perm Food Shelf, which is now called, thankfully, The Bridge, you know, they've rebranded, and that's just awesome. But they had recognized that there was this need to get food out into the communities for those people that were not able to get into Perm, right?
There was. John Likeness at the food pantry did a very good job of figuring out how many people were using it that were in the Perm community. He's a stats man. He definitely is.
Yes.
And we realized that a lot of people from Otter Tail, Vergas, Dent, Richfield cannot always make it to Perm. Either cold weather, the car won't start, or maybe they need car repairs, or just the plain cost of gas to go.
Right.
And that makes it kind of a bittersweet thing. We hope that as we reach out, more and more people can use this mobile food pantry, but at the same time, we're really hoping that more and more people can eventually stand on their own.
Isn't that the truth? I mean, it's just such a wonderful service to have, but you know the reason that you have the service is because somebody's in need. Now, the thing that's interesting to me is that the mobile food pantry is going to have the exact same food, exact same whatever's going to be on the shelf that's over at the Perm Food Shelf or the Bridge. Now tell me how this all works. Give me a little lowdown on the inside of that ice castle.
On the inside of it, you'll see that there's mobile shelves on wheels. So when we're getting ready to go, we just wheel the shelves into the food pantry there in Perham. We stock them and wheel them right back into the ice castle and fasten them down. There's also a freezer in there that you'll see we can have frozen goods. And there'll also be an igloo cooler in there with refrigerated items such as milk and cheeses and that. But the whole idea was if it's available at Perham, it will also be available in the food shelf trailer. Okay. So that's going to work out kind of neat. We also have heat in it, we have air conditioning, we have electricity. So it's not going to be an inconvenience to those that are in need of it or for those helping out in the form of volunteers.
Right. Now I know that it's the stop is planning in Vergas on the first Wednesday after the first Tuesday, and I say that because sometimes the first Tuesday doesn't fall until Wednesday. So anyway, keep in mind it's the first Wednesday after the first Tuesday. In January it's going to be January 4th, but then I know once you hit into February it won't be until the 8th because that first Wednesday isn't until after the the 7th or whatever. But anyway, the schedule will be out there. You can go out onto the Perham Food Shelves, the Bridge's website. The Bridge also has a Facebook site and you can get all that information there. But from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., or no, 10 a.m. till noon, not till 2. You got 2 stops that day. So from 10 to noon, it'll be here at St. John's Lutheran, 401 East Sharp Avenue in Vergas. What do you have to do when you went through the training, Myron? Why don't you tell us what you have to do if you are in need?
Last Thursday, we did go through a dry run and we visited all 4 locations. At the location, we did do training for the volunteers that'll be here to help out. And those volunteers, they will check people in, fill out all the necessary forms that we need to keep the government happy. Got to keep them people happy.
And that's once a year, though.
And that's a once-a-year item. From there, we will be able to go out and shop with the individual. With
little carts. I mean, the carts fit in there. That's awesome.
We've got small grocery carts, too, that we can use to help them out. And hopefully that, you know, as we progress here, if we have clients that cannot make those hours, just have them call ahead to one of our volunteers or to the Bridge community shelf there in Perham, and we can help schedule and meet it. We will also have some emergency baskets with, so if there's someone that's not in the area.
Now the area is, you need to have something that'll show your address is Vergas, Dent, Ottertail, Richville, or Perham, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And we just need to verify the zip code as that is your mailing address. So that could be a driver's license, could be an electrical bill, telephone bill, anything that verifies your address. Okay. And like you said, that's just once a year. So if you forget it the first day, bring it the next time you're here.
Right. I mean, we're not going to turn anybody away, and especially with the emergency baskets. And then once, you know, once they've gone through and you know, signed in, then they get to go shopping.
That is correct. And the amount of groceries that an individual family will get is dependent on how many people are in the family. So obviously, if you're a family of 5, you're going to be able to get a lot more groceries and food items than if you're just a family of 2.
Okay, Myron, if we're on the other side of the end, and this is the tagline that I love, that the Bridge has come up with: give in times of plenty and receive in times of need. If someone wants to leave a donation, are they able to leave that at the location, and then the Bridge will they'll take it back in the mobile food pantry?
Yes, that is correct. You can leave either food items or you can leave cash or check. If it is a monetary donation, we do fill out a form so we can keep track of it, and they'll get a receipt on it. Also on any other donations, we can supply them with a receipt too if they would like one.
Awesome.
And then we'll just take it back with us. One other thing that I'd like to mention too, that if for any reason we did have a lot of people using the food shelf here, we are working on a restocking, so we'll restock before we get to our next location.
Right, and so you leave from here and you go to Dent. Myron, I can't tell you how thankful I am that you're one of the volunteers. I know that you're going to be driving, but I also know that you have done an immense amount of work getting this food trailer ready. And I think that it is just awesome. It's so great to see this at this point where we're going to be able to be up and running. And if you have any questions on it, again, like I said, just check out the Bridge Facebook site, the Bridge website, and just stop down too if you're looking at volunteering. Correct?
That is correct, and thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And one thing that is nice this time of the year it's a very Merry Christmas to our community.
Yes, it is.
A service that we really think will make a difference.
All right, a lot of people have given grants and the Hunger Solutions Bland and all of that. There's articles out there, but we just wanted to get the word out now, and so you have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you, Myron, and have a good day in Vergas.